right, so welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. Listen, this is the show that gives you the insider's guide to everything you need to know to build sustainable wealth and financial freedom for you and your family and the legacies for time and time again. And they say two heads are better than one, but today we have three. We have the option snipers in the building who are going to teach you about how to invest in the market without it being complicated, without it being risky, without you having to have any complicated degrees. I'm talking about these guys have simplified it so much that you're going to be kicking yourself after this interview. Like, why have I not started investing earlier? My brothers, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for coming through.
Yes.
I'm excited. Before we get started, man, if you could just tell our viewers, our insiders, that's what we call our tribe, who are you? When we say the option snipers, who are the option snipers?
Excellent. So my name is Wasi. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Deji.
I'm Josh.
Cool. And so we're the option snipers, right? And so what the option snipers is we are a platform, a community of sufficient traders that are looking to become wealthy in the stock market, right? Creating generational wealth and teaching other people how to also be self-sufficient traders as well, right? So, you want anything else to add there?
Now, I think you pretty much hit it. It's all about empowering people and giving them a skill that can last for a lifetime, right? Trends come and go, policies change, political campaigns change, presidents change, but something that nobody can ever take from you is a skill. And options is a skill that allows you to make money with money. And you're literally creating an ATM for yourself when you learn how to trade options. And that's why I love it so much. There's nothing else in the market that can let you make $23,000 in 1 hour that's not illegal. That's options.
Wait, hold on. You tried to bar there real quick though, right? You said, you can get taught how to make money with money. Hold on. Expound on that a little more.
So options is a game where you're actually putting your capital on the line to make more.
Yeah.
So it's a multiplication game. When you get into the right plays, what you're doing is putting your money in a vehicle, whether that's the XPX, Tesla, or stock. And if it goes up or down, if you choose the right side, your money actually multiplies exponentially faster than actually buying the stock itself because you're working on derivatives and insurance. So I call it illegal because the knowledge in it is that it allows you to take a small amount of capital and multiply it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's why the skill is so valuable, because the thing about it is that, so if you're like an airplane, right? If you're going down the road, the faster it goes, the more momentum it has, it takes off. The more you learn how to option trade, the better you get at it, your returns increase exponentially. And there's nothing else like that in the world because you make money like this. I'm talking about paychecks in minutes and hours. Like it's crazy. So I'm excited for everybody to tap in. Like, this is a must have. This needs to be like, oh, you learn your ABCs?
Yeah.
Okay. Go get your options trading out. Like, bring out your book. Let's get it.
And so you said ABCs, and I want to take it back because a lot of our viewers may not necessarily know like what's option. You said derivatives. You said options. You were saying a lot of stuff that I understood. But I got a 6-year-old. Yeah. Right? And my son is 6. He's always asking me. He's like, "Yo, Dad." He don't say "Yo, Dad," but he say "Dad." Right? How do I make money? Because he here. Me and his mother, me and my wife are always talking about money. He's like, "Dad, how can I become rich like you?" Right? But he just think we rich. But whatever. You're rich. Yeah. But if you could break it down, for my 6-year-old, what is option trading?
Break it down.
All right, so this is what it is, right? It's basically a promise. So if you come to me and you tell me that, hey, I think my shoes, Jordans, right? These shoes that's coming out next week is going to be worth more in the next 1 year. And you believe so strongly about that. Then I can say, okay, fine. I'm going to get you those Jordans, but give me some money to guarantee that when these Jordans comes out and goes to this price, I will give you some profits from the sale. That's basically what options is. You are betting and you're promising yourself that if this stock gets to this price, either upside or downside, you're putting some money on the table and you're saying, I'm betting this direction. So now I use bet loosely because that's what people can understand. That's what young kids can understand. Yeah. You're literally just putting an insurance policy down saying, I think this is going to get to this point. And when it gets to that point or before that point, your money multiplies because one options contract controls 100 shares of the stock, right? So if you have to buy 100 shares of the stock, you got to put like 10,000, 20,000 down.
Right.
But with $100, you can buy one contract and you get the profit of what 100 stocks are going to give to you.
Yep.
And you can sell it to somebody else who thinks this is going to keep going. All you got to do is just worry about your own pockets, get out, and you're done.
All right, so let me break this down for my other folks out here, right? So y'all correct me if I'm wrong. So when I was coming up, I used to play CeeLo, right? And so when I was playing CeeLo, anybody know how to play CeeLo? You roll a dice. Whoever get the highest number, right? You get head crack 4, 5, 6. Whoever get the highest number win the bank, right? But there's people on the side who are side betting, right? So on the side, so if me and Wasi we betting, all right? And Josh is on the side, and Josh is like, yo, I bet you, $5 he won't 4 or better. He won't get a 4 or better. And so if I say, all right, that's a bet, if I get a 4 or better, or if you get a 4 or better, then that money goes to that person. So they're not necessarily in the game, they're side betting. Yeah. So is that a good representation of what option trading is?
It is. It's a good overview of what it is.
Yeah.
The way I like to describe it, because I have a background in real estate, is this, right? Let's say there's a building popping up in New York, like $1 million building.
Yeah. And
to buy a house, if you're going to sign a contract, what did they tell you to put down to secure the property?
Your earnest money.
Earnest money deposit, right?
Yeah.
So you put that. Let's say your earnest money deposit is $500, right? But let's say that you have that contract, and then you have the earned money of $500, and somebody comes and say, "Listen, I think this property is going to be worth more in 2 years. I want to buy that contract from you. How much did you put down?" You tell them 500. I said, "Listen, I'll buy your contract, but I'll give you $3,000 right now for that contract." You just multiply your money 6 times.
Wow.
All you did was trade deposits. That's kind of it. Right?
Got it.
So you're just trading deposits with people.
Got it. And so, like, how much do you need to start option trading? Like what, do you have to be, does it have to be thousands? Do you have to be a millionaire? Like, how do you get into the game?
So I would say it's very subjective, that question, right? So what I would say is you have to first start off with the amount that you're emotionally able to risk, right? So an option contract, for the most part, would start at about $1, right? $1 would represent 100 shares, right? So that $1 would actually be times 100, meaning $100. Okay. So to buy just one option contract would potentially be about $100. Now, there are individuals that think, okay, I need to have, tens of thousands of dollars to be able to start trading in the stock market. And that's just not true, right? You can actually start with something like 1,000, right? Where then you can have the ability to have maybe 10 contracts at a time, right? And then be able to trade that, right? So, like I said, that answer is pretty subjective, but for our community, we usually say that it's safe to start off with 1,000, because obviously a lot of people may not have the, the ability to have, access to, 50, 100,000, whatever, as far as like to start off with, right? So it's really based on your risk profile. How much do I have that I can be able to risk at any point in time, right? To be able to become profitable.
And I love that. And so, a lot of people who know, like, trading stocks, right? Like, hey, if I'm buying a stock, I'm investing in a particular company, that stock could go up or down. Like, really, all right, cool. This is what I'm going to do, right? But, like, is trading options better than trading stocks? Is it the same? Like,
way better.
Way better.
What? Absolutely. I'm about to go crazy. Way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
I want to take this, Josh.
Go ahead, bro. I'm about to get you spicy, bro.
I want to take this.
Go ahead.
Trading options is infinitely better than trading stocks. Infinitely better than trading stocks. Why?
Yeah.
Because your returns in trading options is also infinite. Right? So here's the deal. When you're betting on a specific stock, and like I said, we use the term bet loosely, right? But you're saying that a stock is potentially supposed to be rising, right? Yeah. Now, if you're trading stocks, actual individual stock, right? Stock is actually more expensive than it is to hold specific contracts, right? So if let's say, for instance, Apple, right? Apple is, I think, hovering around 170 right now. Okay. Now, if you want to own, let's say, 1,700, as far as like the dollar amount of Apple shares, that would be about 100 shares of Apple, right? Now, here's the deal. When Apple goes up maybe $5, you're only increasing about maybe like 500 or maybe 5,000. My math is not right now, but maybe $500 from a $5 move. However, if you use that same amount of capital in options trading, let's say you did put in $17,000, right, on Apple contracts, and and Apple, the stock itself went up $5. Your contracts would potentially be upwards of 50 grand as far as the profit is concerned, right?
Yeah.
So it's just across the board. Trading options is infinitely better than trading stock. Now, here's the other difference, right? When you trade stock, you can't necessarily make money when the stock falls. With options, you can actually place what's called a put, right? When the stock is going down. For instance, we've been on a decline since the beginning of 2022, right?
Print time.
So from January into, I want to say, mid-March, we were on a steep decline. Stock traders were not making money. Options traders were banking.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
For instance, a lot of us, we're making like 5 figures a day trading options.
A day.
A day.
Wow.
A day trading options.
Yeah.
Okay? One of my biggest days recently was about 23 grand.
Yeah.
And that was just in a 1 hour.
In an hour.
In an hour. In an hour. You can't do that trading stock.
Yeah.
That's why trading options is infinitely better than trading stock.
Yeah.
Right?
And I like that you said that, because that was going to be my follow-up question. Like you were saying, hey, you bet on it at this particular price, but what if it goes low? And you say you can actually make money in a down market as well.
Yeah. In a down market, actually, what we say is actually
better
a
when it's
down
going
market
down.
is actually better.
What?
Yes, because what we say is that when the stocks are going up, it's an elevator.
Right.
No, sorry, a staircase.
Yeah.
A staircase. So it's kind of going up incrementally, right?
Yeah.
Now, when stocks are falling, imagine there's billions of hedge funds out there that are selling their stock. So it's going faster. It's going down faster than it goes up.
Right.
So your puts are actually going to be making tons of more money a lot quicker than it would be on an uptrend market.
Wow.
So that's the difference between, the stock market where just you're only trading stocks versus, options contracts.
Wow.
And just to add one thing, right? What I've realized makes the difference is 2 F words. In other words, you're thinking about it's fear and faith, right? Just go to the real estate example again. If you buy $1 million apartment building in New York, you might think, okay, this might be $2 million, but you're going to say in 10, 20 years. Okay. But if somebody comes along and say, hey, it's going to be $2 million in 10, 20 years, I think so. I'm willing to put down a higher down payment to get your $500 than to put down an extra $1 million. So somebody might say, I'll give you $3K for $500. Somebody else would say, forget that $3K, I'll give you $10K to take your spot.
Right.
So that's kind of how it is now.
Right.
The fear and faith helps your contract and your money move exponentially faster than it does in stocks, because the reaction of people getting into options contract is a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And people are going in and out very quickly. So options, that's the game for me.
I love it. And so how did you guys become the option sniper? Like, how did you get, because I feel like, yo, if y'all don't feel this energy through the interview, I feel the energy. I feel how passionate you are. I feel, how confident you are actually. And the great thing I love about it is that y'all not just trying to eat and say, look, I'm gonna sit back with my foot on with my no socks, you know what I'm saying? And just eat. Like, you want everybody else to eat. So how did you guys become the option sniper?
That's a great question. So, I usually like to tell this story.
Yeah, he does.
He
has a whole story for that.
Yeah. So the first thing I'll say is that powerful proximity will propel you to prosperity.
Oh, that's a bar. Pushing P.
Again.
Powerful proximity will propel you to prosperity. Okay. So here's the deal. One of our partners, Wale, right? He actually texted me on accident. Actually called me on accident, right? So I called him back and said, hey, bro, what's up? What's going on? And so we're catching up. We went to college together. We went to Howard University together, right? We graduated together, same class and everything. So he called me and, we just started, I called him back after, he basically butt dialed me, right? And so I called him back, and so we're just talking, exchanging ideas and things like that. So we're asking each other, hey, what's going on? Like, what are you into? He says, man, I'm in the stock market. I'm like, yeah, I am too. He's like, yeah, I'm trading options. I'm like, options? I'm doing penny stock, right? I'm doing penny stock at this point. So I'm like, yo, tell me a little bit more about these options. Then he says, all right, cool. I'm going to connect you with Deji. So Deji is who we call like the options guru. Now,
the options OG.
He's gonna be humble, and I'm not gonna allow that right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But he's really humble, and so the idea was we got together. I was trading penny stock with Josh, who's my brother-in-law. He's married to my sister. And so, we essentially, came together as a unit. We have another partner named Mike who, who's in with us as well. And so, we had our own community of people, just a very small, close-knit group. We were just meeting on Zoom every day, trading together, right? And so they were also trading together as well. So we said, yo, why don't we just band together, and start trading together. So we had days where we were making like 6 figures in a day.
Wow.
Right? And so we're like, listen, this is cool and all, but we need to get this message out there. Let's try to see how we can productize this, get together, and start teaching people how to create generational wealth through the stock market, through options.
Yeah.
So that's essentially how, this whole thing, this whole operation came together.
So Deji, how'd you become the OG, man? How'd you become the OG of options, man?
So I started doing this when I was in college. I graduated from University of Maryland, College Park. And while I was there, I saw, my school is like kind of predominantly white folks. And most times I would see my friends before any class, they're trading on in the computers and the dormitory and all this stuff. And they're trading like, 500K, 200K at a time. I was like, what's all this? Right? So I would, talk with them and all this stuff. And there's all these Chinese guys just banking every day. And they would come to class, sit down. After class, they're back in the dormitory trading. So I started, following them, like, I'm just going to learn this shit, excuse me.
You good.
Yeah. So I would, follow them, and we started trading a lot of stocks, and they would show me all these things, what was going on. And, I started having big days. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Yeah. Why is it that we black people don't know this? What is going on?
Right.
And I started telling my friends and all this stuff, and they're like, oh no, it's too risky. Don't do that. Don't put your money in the market. I was like, you know what? I have no choice. I gotta, get my money into it. I started trading, and then the pandemic happened, and everyone was home, and people, who couldn't go out, all the stuff.
Right.
Gave me more time to myself to trade, and I started banking when the market was going down in March. I started making money crazy down. And when I met these guys, I was like, you know what? The market is going back up, right? Let's ride it back up. And we started riding. And then I think Tesla was like, what?
Yeah.
Tesla was like 300, 400.
Pre-split.
Yeah,
pre-split was like
it was so
400,
cheap. And I said, you know what, guys, just, get this. And we started trading like day trades. We started doing like lips. Lips, basically, you buy like years out.
Yeah.
And this is why I love people who are trading stocks. I'm like, I get it, but you're doing it wrong. If you believe Apple stocks are gonna be double in the next 5 years or 4 years, why not just buy a contract on bet in that direction for the next 2 years? And you own the contract. And guess what? Your contract is gonna be worth way more than the stock. And if your stock goes in the money, you can exercise it by getting shares back for the contract you owed in with profits on it. But a lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm just gonna hold Apple shares for the next 10 years. Yeah. And then you've made $500 where somebody else has made $5,000 waiting for that. So we started doing all that, and we played what? Amazon,
Google,
Amazon.
So we had a contract on Amazon.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. You know what?
Netflix, bro.
Let's take Amazon.
Yo, I like how Josh lights up, though. I love how Josh lights up. I love it.
Yo.
Think about money.
When he heard Netflix, there's a story as to why he jumped up like that.
So we have video recordings of people crying on the call, making bank. Like, you went from how much to how much on Amazon? Like 250 or 200K on
something
Amazon.
like that, yeah.
It's crazy. So we had this contract. I've been trading for a while from college, and I knew that every Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day, around that time, Amazon jumps because there's a lot of press around it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't know that in the pandemic, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it again. So we bought this contract for $300. $300. And I said, just hold this till this happens and see what happens. So it kept going up, comes down a little bit. Of course, options, that's how it's basically, just all this stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of that contract was $300 to $30,000 each.
Per contract.
$300 to
$30,000
each.
Yeah.
The contract.
Per work contract.
One contract. Yes.
Yeah.
I had my cash app blowing up. People sending me $1,000, $2,000, $10,000.
Just in appreciation.
Like,
Bro,
just appreciation. Because guys were making 6 figures in the day, and I was like, this is unreal.
Word.
Right? It happens like that, right?
Yeah.
And I told them, this is not going to happen forever. This is why you got to master the skill. And that's what we're here to do, to teach you the
how to master the skill.
So a lot of people are like, oh, that's easy. No, it's not. But that's an opportunity that the market gives to you.
Yeah.
Now you got to learn the skill that it takes, that in any market condition, election time, wars going on, how can you make money in any direction? We made a play of recent, right?
Yeah.
When Russia had a problem with, invading Ukraine, I told them, I said, wait, right?
Yep.
Because Russia and Ukraine makes 30% of the wheat of the whole world. You use wheat for bread and all those stuff, right? And if they're in war, guess what happens? No one's producing wheat.
Right.
Wheat price is going to go up because when you have, less supply and more demand, prices go up.
Absolutely.
So we played wheat. Guess how much we got out of it? 600% profit.
Sheesh.
Right? And a lot of people are like 2 weeks. 2 weeks of old. And that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
But these opportunities are because you in the markets, you watching the news, you mastering the skill, and you can, get those opportunities out.
Yeah. The most important part is you have to become a participant.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting on the sidelines and you're not an options trader, then everything we're saying doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's quite honest.
Yeah.
You have to be a participant because there are opportunities in the market every single day.
Yeah.
We always say there's a play every day.
Yeah, every day.
So you have to be a participant.
And so what would you say is the biggest thing that's holding people back?
I'll tackle that. So the one word I hear a lot is this word risk. It's risky. And really what risk means is running into situations knowledgeless. If you don't have the knowledge, then
Yo,
for you,
Josh
it's
is
risky.
barred up. Say that again. Hold on. Like, you got to look at the camera and say that. That's a bar right there.
So the word risk means running into situations knowledgeless. The reason you think it's risky is because you don't have the knowledge. But once you have the knowledge, you become a master and then you profit from the knowledge that you have. See, the thinking is that when people have the knowledge, they take the skill and they turn it into money. So I tell people, like, listen, stop saying things are risky. First ask, how can I learn what I need to learn to become as good as that person? Like, we have competitions. Watch me say, I had a 19K day. I say, I'll catch you next week.
Right.
Like, that's the kind of energy you need to be on. So you need to learn the skill, and that skill will pay you for life. And the thing about skills is that you can pass it down. He learned it, he taught it. I learned it, I'm teaching it. Right? And everybody in the community, if somebody learned it and each person teaches somebody else, the whole community will come up as a whole. Why? Because we all have a skill that people have been playing for years. Like, options is not new.
Right.
Options has been around for like decades. But just now, 2020 is when people are starting to learn it. But listen, it's better to be a participator than a spectator. Spectators gets killed. And they're like, oh, that's cool. No, you need to get in the game and actually participate. And then start making profit.
Yeah, no, I love that because, I mean, rightly so. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so, if somebody's watching right now, they're excited, and they want to get, like, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to get started in options?
Great. So I would say find somebody who's doing what you want to do. And then pay them whatever they ask, sleep over their house, become their best friends, walk their dogs. That's my type of fire. Like, if I want something and I know somebody knows what to do, I will literally stalk that person in a nice way and learn that skill. So literally find a mentor to show you how to do this. Because what they're going to do, they're going to take your learning curve and cut it at least in half. Like, they're going to cut it at least in half. So I've lost money trading options. And there's some mistakes I've made that I learned through experience. But now what? My experience, my hindsight can become your foresight. Now I can show you, hey, move this way. Don't do this. Okay? You have profits. Secure your profits. We have people who are making, they're up 300, 400%. They're like, it can go more. I'm like, bro, you're up 4 times your money. Take that out. Like, seriously. So get a mentor and then take action.
Here's what I would say. I would say finance the fee for new friendships. Finance the fee for new friendships. Here's the deal, right? Here's the deal, right? A lot of people think that the knowledge and the skill set that they can attain is something that can be free. And here's the deal. We have in our community, when we first started, we had friends and family, right? That essentially joined us for free. Where are they today? They're not a part of us. Why? Because what they invested was nothing. And the Bible literally says that where your treasure is, your heart will be also. They had no treasure in this skill set. That's the most dangerous thing you can do. Be a part of something that has immense value, but not give up anything for it. That's the worst place you can be in, because now you're literally amongst individuals that are making tons of money, but because you didn't invest in yourself, you there's nothing in you that wants to see the output. That's the problem. So you need to finance the fee for new friendships. We have become friends, and now you can see amongst us, right? There's generational wealth just flowing from us. Right? And the thing is, I'm really passionate about people having a new circle. When you start to get a new circle, right, and you have individuals around you that are also profitable and have become masters at their skill set, you essentially attract those things from them as well. So what I would say again is finance the free for new friendships.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. And I love that you guys talk about that because, that's something that a lot of people don't realize, right? A lot of people believe that they could go to YouTube University and just kind of look certain things up. And you talked about this, Josh, like, man, you had some losses. And so if you've done this already and you got to a space where, you've helped, you've helped yourself become successful, your students become successful. And so, the great thing, I love the fact that, you've made mistakes, but you've learned, you guys are helping like your students. And, it's great that people who are watching this show right now, they got a lot of great information out of it. Right. And so you guys have a challenge, coming up. Talk to us a little bit about that challenge.
Yeah, cool. So we have a challenge coming up, right? And what we do, we spend 5 days with you, 5 whole days, 1 hour each day, pointing to you guys the basics, the fundamentals, and the advanced metrics for options trading. So you're going to have me, Wasi, Diggs, literally showing you guys step by step. Here's how you get into trades. This is what you want to look out for. This is the strategy that works the best. Like we even have literally a survey where we interview 200 traders, the people who are making 10,000 plus a month and the people who are broke making nothing. We actually have their secrets. They tell you, this is what I'm doing to win. So during that 5 days, we're giving you guys all the gems to literally learn how to trade options. They're like people who join the challenge, don't know anything about options, and they make $300, $500, $600, $700 just joining the challenge alone, learning the information that we give you guys step by step. Like we literally do not hold anything back.
Wow.
Right? So it's you do not want to miss it. Like missing this event is like skipping a meal. Okay, you're gonna stay hungry. Okay, we want you guys to get fat, so make sure you tap in.
Yeah. And so what, in that 5 days, right? Because I hear you can make a lot of money through options, right? And in that 5 days, what is it important that people do, right, within that 5 days to make sure that they're successful? Meaning like, as you're joining the challenge, what are some of the things you have to leave behind to make sure that they get the most out of it?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's really going to be having to be there and be attentive.
Yeah.
Right. So we also have a Facebook group. Once you join the challenge, we ask people for different homework, right? Yeah. Create a video and tell us what you learned from this specific day. Now, the reason as to why we ask people that is because they then become accountable to themselves pertaining to the information that they learned, right? You can't forget something that you can physically see yourself professing and saying out of your mouth, right? So definitely doing the homework throughout the challenge, being attentive, literally locking away, right? Spending, because it's only an hour, right? So spending the entire hour with us without any interruptions, showing up on time each and every time, doing the homework and going through our workbook as well, right? So those are the things that I would say would help people become successful while they're doing on the challenge.
No, I love that. And so I believe in visualization, right? So help me visualize, right? I'm somebody, I joined your challenge. I've never done option trading before in my life. I have $1,000, right? I have $1,000 that I want to start investing in. What are the possibilities that I could come out, with that $1,000?
I think the first thing though I want to mention is when you said you've never traded options before. There's a myth out there that says that you can't do something because you haven't done it before, but that's not true, right? Yeah. And it's even more so true with options trading pertaining to what we do, because usually what you see is that you actually start off on the right foot, having a mentor that can literally teach you from the start, right? Yeah. Most of our most profitable students are actually traders that have never traded before. Why? Because they're starting off with a very firm foundation where they learn specifically from us and not having to hold on to other, information that may not necessarily be true about the stock market. Right. So I definitely wanted to make sure I made that point. But as far as the process, essentially, once you have the mindset and the skill set, right, it's essentially just following directions. We actually have, part of our community is a live call. So we actually hold hands of new traders and literally trade live with our students. Wow. Right? Nobody's doing this. Yeah. We're literally trading live with our students. So the same trades we're looking to get into, we, after going through the program and understanding the knowledge of what we do and this and honing in the skill set, right? We essentially assist people every single day within the stock market, right? And now the best part about that is that is the law of partnership, right? Because at that point, we are then able to congratulate everybody because we're all making money together at the same time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? There's nothing better than that.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. And so, can trading options replace your 9 to 5?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We think about it this way. Like I tell people this, right? That after learning how to do options, making $200 a day, that's a tip. That's like a by the way. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, if you look at a 30-day period, there's 23 trading days.
Yeah.
If you make $200 a day, what's that math? That's like $8,000 a month, $7,000 a month. If you make $500 a day, that's $10,000 a month. Okay, that's totally doable for new people. Literally, there are people in our community who literally just started like trading options 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're already making $420, $425, $1,000 a day trading options. It's all about that new skill set, right?
Yeah.
So if you have new information and then you execute, you're going to have new manifestation. But you can't have one of those two pieces missing.
Yeah.
You need the information,
Yeah.
you need the execution,
Yeah.
then you get the manifestation.
Yeah.
So you just got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Stock market will give you paychecks.
Seriously.
What I would say is the 9 to 5 is a subscription of silence. It's a subscription of silence.
Yeah.
Why? Because the paycheck that you're receiving is essentially someone else's cash flow.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of, and here's the deal, right? 9 to 5 workers get paid 26 times a year. 26 times a year. An options trader gets paid every single day.
Wow. Yeah.
There's a huge difference,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if you're asking, can I replace my 9 to 5 income? Well, if you're getting paid every single day versus only getting paid 26 times a year,
Right.
Do the math.
then you can do the math
Right,
yourself,
absolutely,
right? Now,
absolutely.
the difference is this as well. Your paycheck over those 26 days, those 26 times you get paid, right? Because you have 52 weeks in a year. You divide that by 2. That's as far as bi-monthly checks, that's 26 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So you have 26 paychecks, right? Those paychecks stay the same every single week.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change. With options trading, when you're making money every single day, there's what we call compound interest. Albert Einstein calls it literally the most powerful force in the world.
Eighth wonder of the world. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So when you're compounding your money, your paychecks actually become incrementally more than prior.
Yeah.
So, we're not mathematicians here, but the math is mathing at that point to say you can be a full-time options trader and replace your 9 to 5 income.
And what does that look like? Like, being a full-time, options trader, does that mean that now, I got my glasses on, I got 3 computers, and I'm stuck looking at computers all day trying to make sure I know the movement of things? What was the time commitment?
So most of the time, there is a time of the market that you have more volatility. As options traders, you have to trade with the volatility. And for me personally, I trade at the market open, the first 1 or 2 hours, and the last hour of the market. The rest of the day, I'm just chilling,
Wait. So you're saying you trade the first hour or 2 of the market opening, the hour or 2 before the market closes,
That's the most profitable
and
time.
that's it.
That's it.
And you replace your 9 to 5. So you're telling me, wait, whoa.
As I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Whoa. So you're telling me that there's somebody right now who's working 40 hours.
Yes.
Right? They're working 40 hours a week and making nothing. And I could work 4 hours a day.
Yes.
And make a fortune.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you don't even need that much time. And the thing that people don't realize is literally a 9 to 5 worker and an options trader, they're opposite. What do I mean by that? Okay, as a 9 to 5 worker, I used to love Fridays and I used to hate Mondays.
Yes.
As an options trader,
you love
I
Mondays.
hate Fridays and I love Mondays.
Right.
Number 2, options trader, he told you the beginning of the market, 9 to 11, and then 3 to 4. Those are the best times to trade.
Yeah.
When is the lunch break for 9 to 5 people usually?
It's like 12.
11 to 12,
Yeah.
okay? We hate that time. We love early in the morning, 9:30 to 11 and 3 to 4. It's all about having the knowledge and knowing that, okay, these are the times where you have the best opportunities because the market does not pay you for your time. It only pays you for opportunity. As an options trader, what you're learning to do is learn how to recognize opportunities.
Yeah.
And when you become masterful at recognizing opportunities, you can even trade for 30 minutes a day and make $4,000.
Word.
And close your laptop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. So you're not getting paid for time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say that like last year December I was in Europe, and I wasn't really doing anything. I was just traveling around with Wale, and we were having fun, different countries almost every week. And we were trading options, and she was just there.
Wow.
And you could do that if you want to do that,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
you're not locked in one location. You don't have to be in New York or, or Texas to be near the, you can be anywhere in the world and just open your system. You can go on vacations and make your vacation money back while you're on vacation.
vacation.
Yes. And all you gotta do is just, 9:30 in the morning, open your laptop, find the opportunities, trade those. Once you're done for the day, close.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Go on your skiing and everything.
Wow. I love this so much because like literally it's opened my mind, even more. So I'm joining your next challenge because it's opened my mind because I'll be honest, like I'm a stock trader, you know what I'm saying? And so, I'm in Amazon, I'm in Tesla, I'm in all of these things. But I also know how to play CeeLo. And I know the guy with the side bet usually make the most money.
Yep.
He walking around with the most money.
Right.
With a guy who got the most stress. He rolling.
Yeah.
He hoping that his number hit. He hoping he fall better.
Yeah.
But the guy on the side is just collecting the cash, so it makes sense. And you guys, what I love is around that mentorship, right? How they're joining your program, joining your challenge is really paying for that mentorship, paying so that they won't make the mistakes, right? And so what is the biggest mistake that rookies make when they, start to, try to trade options on their own?
Greed.
Oh my God.
Greed.
Yeah.
So look at it this way, right? We've been trading options for years. You come into a community, you're live trading with us, which means that you're getting into the trades we're getting into.
Yeah.
So let's say we make, a couple $100s on the trade, like we're up $1,000, $2,000 for the day. The professional is securing profits, but the rookie is how higher can it go? Okay. Rookies make that mistake a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I preach secure profits. Because, making $200, $300, $400, $500 during the trading day is very easy. So a lot of people don't say, I want to make $5 grand today, 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand today, which is fine. But as a beginner, secure profits along the way, get paid along the way.
Yeah.
And the more your account compounds, then, stay in for that $1,000, $2,000. Because guess what? Okay, my trading account, you get a debit card with it. So when I make profits, I go to Chick-fil-A. That's my spot.
Yeah,
Swipe that card.
right.
Let me get 2 number 4s and an extra fries, I'm literally making my profits real. So that greed factor is what I see a lot of people do. That's the mistake that a lot of new beginners make when they start making money.
I would say it's also for new traders, there's a lot of guessing involved, right?
True.
They play a guessing game. Okay, I'm just going to buy contracts and just hope that I end up making money. We don't guess.
Yeah.
There's no guesswork in what we do. We are very confident. And that's another thing about securing profits is being in a state of consistency.
Yeah.
Because when you're consistent, you then have confidence to attack the market and literally partner with the market. As the market is going up, you're making money as it's going up. As the market is coming down, you're making money as it's going down. Right? So it's about consistency and confidence. You have to build consistency because when you build consistency, the confidence that you have would then allow you to start increasing your position sizing. And that's when we start seeing those big days, right? Those $2,000, $5,000 days is when you then compound your account and allow your account to get to a point where your risk level, your risk tolerance could then increase because options is a game of multiplication. Okay. So the same play can give, if you get into a play of $200 to make $1,000, that same play you can have $2,000 to make $10,000.
Right.
It's literally the same play. It's
Right.
multiplication. It's just the amount of position size that you put into that play to get that amount of money.
Yeah, no, I love that. And so what are some of the platforms that you have to use in order to get into the trading or start trading?
So I wish they would hurry up and pay us. I wish they would endorse us.
Seriously.
But I don't like saying this all the time, but we do actually recommend TD Ameritrade.
Yeah, Thinkorswim.
TD Ameritrade is the brokerage. Thinkorswim is the platform.
Okay.
All right. If their executives are watching this right now, send us our check because we literally have sent hundreds and thousands of people to their platform because it's a great platform that they use. That they have over there, that they're developing, that we've been able to master.
And one of the things you can do on TD Ameritrade is you can customize strategies. So you can build your own strategies once you know exactly how to trade, and you can do all that and make sure that once you see your strategy, fulfill itself, you can just get into the trade. So you don't have to do the hard work of doing all those things over and over again. So places like Robinhood can't do that. I mean, I'm never going to go into that. I'm not going to get started with that. Anyone using Robinhood and you're trading, I don't know,
do
man.
it.
Just
don't do it.
You're just
Stop.
donating money to Robinhood. That's all you do.
Yeah, seriously.
So talk to me about taxes real quick, right? Because, more money, more problems, more money, more taxes, right? And so, how do you manage the taxes? What are some of the things that you could write off, as an options trader?
Okay, so my wife's a CPA. I'm not one, and I don't pretend to be one on TV, okay? But this is what she taught me how to do, and it's up to you. Talk with your tax strategy. So you create your brokerage account underneath the LLC name. So your brokerage account actually becomes a business. So just like you write off everything, cars, houses, the same thing can be bought with profits, with like your trading profits, okay? So you can buy real estate to defer assets, to defer taxes, on and on and on. And then you can cost seg those and even speed up the rate of depreciation. And you can keep more money to bounce that against your trading profits. So let's say you make $1 million trading options this year. Good job for you, okay? Uncle Sam's going to want half. But just guess what you do? You park that in an apartment building, let's say 180 units. That unit costs you $500,000-$600,000. It's going to give you $20K a month in cash flow. Now you have the asset, you have the cash flow, and to Uncle Sam, you only made $400,000 that year. So you get your taxes decreased. Yeah. And the great thing is, all your losses, not some, all your losses can be tax deducted under LLC. You can't do that if you open that under your own brokerage name.
The max you can go on your brokerage name is $3,000.
It's $3,000. That's all you can write. So even on the downside, you're winning.
Yeah.
So create your brokerage account underneath your LLC.
Wow. Oh, I love that. Man, what's the most have y'all made from trading options? I want all the smoke. What's the most?
Goodness.
We can talk about our biggest days.
Let's just kind of go down the line. So for me, my biggest day was 100,000 in a day.
In one day.
100,000 in a day.
Yes. Wow. Talk to me. We're going to say the OG for last. Josh, what's your biggest day?
My biggest day was about 45K.
45K. OG, talk to us.
All right, so my biggest day was...
He crossed his leg. He crossed his leg.
All right. So my biggest day, I actually had two accounts then. Yeah. I took one account from 16,000 to 170 on that day. And then I took the other one to multiple six figures. That's what I was going to say.
He's being humble right now.
Yeah, he's humble. We saw the receipts, so
so the one from 19 to 170, that was the same day as
that was the same day we did the 40.
Wow.
So we both did $100,000 that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you got another day.
He has a whole nother day.
Multiple six figures.
And that day he was crying though.
Yeah,
I was crying. He was crying.
So here's the deal. I was crying, and then I had my cousin. She was also trading with us.
Yeah.
She had a savings goal of 20,000 for the year. She made 20,000 that day. Wow. And her tears were like just rushing.
We have the video of that. She was on video.
This
very emotional.
This, like, seriously, because people were like, there's something about, so Deadlock calls it FU money. Let's just, can I say that on camera? Let's cut that down. When you make so much money, something triggers to you psychologically and you start to cry.
Right.
So that's what I look for. I watch my members and I'm looking at them like, hey, did you cry yet? Did you cry yet? Because once you start crying, you hit that money where you're like, wow, my life has really changed. Yeah. And when you're making 5 figures, 6 figures in a day.
Right.
Like
I think it's also a mindset shift.
Yeah.
Because for all of our lives, we believe that time is money, right? Time is not money.
Yeah.
Time is infinitely more valuable than money.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you start thinking that the only way that you'll be able to make money is when you have to sell a whole bunch of your time, then when you get into a situation where you had a little bit of time and made a whole lot of money, it starts to change the way you think about money. It starts to change how you move. It starts to, sometimes for people, it starts to change their lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. So, when that emotional element is really more so like just going back and just thinking about all the things you've done for money, right? All the time you spent having to worry about what your boss thinks about you, having all those years having to think about like when you're going to get your bonus, when you're going to get a promotion, when you make so much money in such a short period of time, it just makes you go back and think.
Man, that's powerful. Like just as you're talking, I'm just envisioning our viewers, our insiders who are trying to figure it out, who are trying to make ends meet. And there's a lot of people who have money, and they just don't know what to do with it. And this is an option for them, pun intended, right? This is an option for them.
Options give you options.
Options give you options, right?
Yeah, bro.
Options gives you options. And so, we call out our viewers insiders, right? And so give us like an insider trick or insider secret on how they could become successful, like something that like exclusive for my insiders.
Oh my goodness.
Should I drop it?
Drop it. Listen, go ahead. I'm going to drop it.
So I know a lot of people are like, oh, how do I find stocks? How do I find what to play every day? I'm going to give you a cheat code. SPX. That's what I'm going to say.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
SPX. That's all you need to trade.
Yeah.
So we tell people, so SPX represents the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in the United States.
Yeah.
It has the most value. It has the most volatility.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are trying to trade individual stocks. Why are you trying to trade individual stocks? Just like they tell you, oh, buy the S&P 500 average down. Only trade the S&P 500. Just trading that one ticker can literally make you a millionaire if you learn how to master the XPX. And the movements, especially when you're day trading it, they move so quick with so much volume because the big boys are playing there.
Right.
So I'm telling you, making $1,000, $2,000, that's a tip. When there's hundreds of millions of dollars trading every single day.
And if you want to prove what I'm saying, you can go to your brokerage, open SPX after every day, look at the low of the contract and look at the high of the contract and tell me what you say.
Wow.
That's what I'm going to say.
Wow. Man, we appreciate that. And so I want to do. I want you to finish these terms for me, right? Because I want to get to know the options. The option sniper is better, right? And so I am
a generational wealth creator.
I am a money multiplier.
I am a king.
When it's all said and done, I will be.
That's a little deeper than the.
Yeah, right. It's a little different.
Yeah, you go there.
Start over there.
Wait a minute.
I will start this.
Yeah.
Well, so what's it again?
When it's all said and done, I will be.
When it's all said and done, I will be the person who started the generational change in my family because I am the first millionaire in my family, and I will be the godfather of my family.
Love it. When it's all said and done, I will be, right?
I'll be an inspiration. Okay, I started off as an ER nurse making $125 a day after a 12-hour shift. So my goal is to be an inspiration to everybody who looks up to me and say, listen, it can be possible. You can make a shift in literally months and change your life.
Wow.
I think along the same lines, I would say when it's all said and done, I will be an example. I think representation is very key in what we do.
Yeah.
The reason as to why most of our community aspires to be things like rappers and entertainers, and entertainers, ballers, and things like that is because they can see it.
Yeah.
Right. The issue with our community pertaining to the investment world and specifically with the stock market and stock options is that they don't see these examples of successful Black men and women that are taking advantage of what the stock market is giving them.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say for that.
No, I love that. I want everyone who crosses my path to know.
Let's start over there.
I want everybody to cross my path to know that it's possible. It's possible. If I could use a biblical word for a second, I feel like there's a lot of people in mental bondage. And that mental bondage is they have a self-placed limiting belief on how far they can go based on the information they currently have. So if they meet me, just by meeting me, I want them to actually get the information and say, that's not a possible goal for me.
No, I love that.
I want everyone that meets me to know that they have all it takes to be wherever they need to be. And I pride this to myself. Any one of my friends, I tell them, if you meet me within 6 months, if your life don't change, I failed. And you can check everyone in my circle. I'm saying it publicly right now. Go check everyone in my circle. Within 6 months, their life changes.
I'm in his circle. Yeah.
It takes, trust me, I say to anyone who meets me, if you want to be in my circle, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
But if you stay with me, every one of my friends, they have all it takes already.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know that I'm an enabler. I know I'm a light to people's life. And I know I can do it. And if I show them how to do it, they can change their lives too.
Yeah.
So if you come in around me, know that it's possible. You have all it takes already to get there.
No, I love that. Let me get in your pockets a little bit, right? So, what has been the most extravagant thing that you guys have done with money individually?
What's the most extravagant thing?
I'll say probably a watch.
The watch?
Well, this.
the
This is
AP?
This is APA 15,500.
Yeah.
Go check the price.
Do your Googles.
Go
Do
do
your
Google.
Googles real
They need to
quick.
pay us.
Yeah.
All these people.
Yeah, no, for real. I need to get people at AP though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need these sponsorships for real.
Yeah.
I mean, you just bought a car. Listen, he went to
You
dealership.
got a Tesla.
He had a 19K there and he just walked in the dealership. Was like, I want that. I just took it.
So for me, I just bought a brand new Tesla. So he's right. After I made, I think, 19,000 in a day. I just went straight to the dealership.
That's the FU money.
I want that.
Give me
That's the
that.
Put it in
FU
my
money.
garage. Yeah. So
Nice.
Yeah, I did the same thing. After the 45K day, I want to go get a Benz, a family truck.
Nice.
But for me, I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
So for me,
Oh my God. Don't get me started.
can I be real?
You had $1,000 burger, bro?
No, Suya.
For y'all who don't know who CI is, y'all missing out. But yeah, I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
I mean, the cars are nice, but for me, it's just about living life, enjoying what I like to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I like to do.
And tell them about what you're getting next.
Porsche 711.
Oh, exactly.
I love it. What would you say is the most impactful thing you've done with money?
With money,
I gave my mom a check.
Yeah.
A nice one, too.
Yeah.
That meant a lot to me.
I gave my mom the first international travel she's ever had in her life. She stayed out of the country for 1 week and she was in tears. And
Wow.
Wow. Likewise, I gave my parents some money. So,
Yeah. And how is that though, right? Just, like being from Africa and being able, like you said, you're the first millionaire in your family, like being able to show, your family back home, but if your family here, like what is that feeling for y'all?
It's empowering, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's actually also humbling too. Right? Because you start to recollect like where you came from, right? And where you are now, right? And your ability to impact so many people, right? People that you love, people that you care about and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's like I said, just kind of going back to being an example, like, when people see that they can do the same thing as well, it actually empowers other people to do the same things.
Yeah.
Right? Being charitable, helping out your family and things like that. So,
Yeah. Are you guys like celebrities when you go back home? No?
No, we're
Stay low?
very chill.
I don't
We
even
get
know
spotted here and there, but we like to be chill.
Actually, funny enough, like one of our members actually saw me at the airport. We were actually on our way to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And so one of our members is also Nigerian. And I had my mask on and everything. And he was like, yo, Wasi. I'm like, who's this?
Right.
And then he pulled on his mask and I recognized his face in our community.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm an option sniper.
Nice.
I was like, whoa,
Nice.
this is
Yeah,
different.
Nice.
That was good.
Nice.
That's a little different. Like, okay, that's cool. So we actually flew together to Nigeria on that trip. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Nice.
that was kind of cool. But I'm not really into fame and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm more so like looking for impact.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how many people can I impact? With whatever I have, whatever I have to give and things.
Yeah. No, I love it. All right. So we're going to do a lightning round, right? And so, we are in the vault, literally.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we take bank terms and we flip them so that they could, be for us inside the vault, right? And so the first term we're going to use is deposit slip. Deposit slip, as you know, you go into a bank, you fill out the deposit slip, you put money inside the bank. But for us, deposit slip is a mistake, right? A slip up, right? And so what would you say is the biggest deposit slip that you've had, the biggest money mistake you've made?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was in
Not taking profit.
that was in 2020.
Not taking profit. Yeah.
We went crazy up and we were, we saw this big money and market flipped on us and
Yeah.
we didn't take profit. This is why we're showing people now take profit. That day I lost 6 figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Take profit is definitely.
Expensive bathroom breaks. Don't trade.
Oh,
Yes.
Go to the bathroom
if you have to trade,
and leave your computer, go to the bathroom and come back. That's how you lose 17 grand.
Word. Okay. So,
Yeah.
use the bathroom.
no, literally take a bucket right there and pee right here. If you gotta do that, okay?
That's the most expensive bathroom break.
No, for real.
Nah,
It's real.
wow.
And something
Something
is,
change by the second. You know what I mean?
and that thing is, before you take that screenshot, take the profit.
Take profit, not.
Oh yeah, take profit, not screenshots.
A lot of people, when you get to the point of taking screenshots, it means you're proud of what you've made.
Right.
And you really want to show someone else.
Right.
That's the point
That's
sell.
when you sell.
Take your money.
Take your
And you can
cash.
show them what you sold.
Absolutely.
Right. No, I love that. Second one is charge off, right? So charge off, you borrow money from the bank, you don't give the money back, the bank's trying to get the money back and they have to charge it off. But for us inside the vault, the charge off is what type of people or mindsets did you have to charge off while you were on your journey?
People that do not or not willing to invest in themselves.
Yeah.
like a lot of people are constantly like in our DMs asking for free information.
Yeah.
Potentially. Now, there's a place for free information. We do have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But I don't have enough time and we don't have enough time to be able to assist everybody, right? That everybody that DMs us, right?
Yeah.
To assist them in a full mentorship where you have access to my phone number, you have access to, you know, the ability to just contact me, you know, most, you know, throughout the day to be able to help you. Those things are not for free.
Yeah.
Right? So people that are unwilling, and the problem is, like I said earlier, when you're unwilling to invest in yourself, you're not going to be able to yield results. You're just not going to be able to. We have people that have invested in themselves over 5 figures that literally are consistently making at least $1,000 a day in the stock market. You are not going to get those results if you do not invest in yourself. That's just the truth of the matter. Right? So that's what I would say for that.
Yeah. So charging off anybody who doesn't invest in themselves. Yeah. All right. So last but not least, ATM, right? So ATM is where you put your card in, you get money out. But for us, ATM is another teachable moment. So you guys dropped a lot of valuable information, but give us one more. Give our insiders one more, another teachable moment.
Teachable moment. First of all, the bathroom break. Be careful about that.
Yeah.
But don't let your profits stay profits. Turn them into assets. Okay. When you're making profits with options, take money out, pay yourself, invest that into something long term.
Yeah.
And maybe in 2 years, now your portfolio is 3-5 million.
Yeah.
And you're getting $20K a month in dividends, right? So don't let your profits stay profits. Keep your money moving. Okay? Keep your money making money.
You said ATM, right?
Yeah.
I actually bought an ATM with my options trading profits. Right? Funny enough,
Flex.
right?
Yeah.
I actually bought an ATM. So my ATM business is actually my favorite business, honestly, because it's as simple as people are actually paying me to have access to my money.
Wow.
So instead of leaving my money in a savings account, people then, you know, I put my money into the ATM. People then are charged to take cash out, and then I just go back to the bank, withdraw the money, and refill it. Right? When you said ATM, that kind of got me thinking like, yo, the perfect example of that is literally to buy an ATM, place it at a location that's, you know, that has a lot of traffic, right? And then you just start making money. Instead of leaving your money in the bank, put it in an ATM and charge people to use your money.
Yeah. And I love that because, I mean, you said this earlier, Josh, how, you know, options trading is literally like printing money. It's like an ATM. You make the money, you take that money, you invest it in an asset, and then let that asset pay you.
Exactly.
And then now you're rich forever.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love that. All right, y'all. So listen, another powerful episode. Like if you are not ready to become an option trader, I don't know what you've been watching, I'm joining the challenge. Make sure y'all hit the link below in the description. Matter of fact, Josh, like what can the people expect by joining the challenge?
Listen, whether you're new, you've been doing this for a while, or you're 99, okay, you're going to learn how to trade options. You're going to learn the fundamentals, and you're going to learn the top 1% strategies we use to make profits every single day.
Nah, I love it. All right, y'all, go to InsideTheOptionsVault.com to join the challenge. Hit the link below. If people wanted to connect with y'all outside, matter of fact, don't even give your social media. Just hit the link below. Join the challenge. But no, if they wanted to follow you online, where can they find you?
Sure thing. So we do have a Option Snipers Instagram, the Option Snipers, right? At the Option Snipers. And then my personal Instagram is wasi.akin. That's WASI.AKIN. Go ahead.
You can check me out on Instagram mostly uncle.zoom. Uncle_zoom, sorry. I don't even know my social media. I'm not really on social media like that, but it's uncle_zoom. You can check me out. I just travel and trade options. That's all I do.
That's it. Live the life.
Yeah. Me, you can find me very easily at Josh Cashflow. I'll probably be the first one to pop up because, you know, I like that cash and I got to keep it flowing.
Oh, big bars. We are closing out the vault. Another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. Make sure you join our insiders community. You have to text insiders to 646-687-4152. Join the community. We have exclusive behind the scene access, information, interviews that you won't see nowhere else. So make sure you join our community. Follow us on all social media platforms at Inside the Vault. And me, I am Ash Cash. Follow me at I am Ash Cash. And I'll see you next time on the greatest money mindset show on the planet, Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. in God's will. Peace.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You won't ask cash, you can catch it right here in the vault.